I want to quickly talk about the Geosketch Canvas. Now, the first thing that I want you to see is that when I move my cursor to the top here, I see the header of the page. And of course, if I want to go back and get out of the Geosketch tool, I can click here. So I'm going to do that. And that takes me out. And of course, I can go back to the main page of the application. But what we want to look at is the Geosketch tool. Now, the important thing is that we wanted this to be such that uh, the header does not really take space of the canvas itself. And from there, we can easily draw whatever that we want. Now, the idea of the tool is that it should be simple, and that is the basic idea. I've used a number of different tools when I was drawing diagrams for mathematically correct, and I think that the tools, while they are very good, but they can be a bit complicated, and that has led to a lot of other people struggling with mathematical diagrams per se. So the first thing that I want to talk about is drawing a line, a simple line. So I'm just going to drag this and I click here to draw a line. And of course, when I drag it like this, I've got a line. Now, once I have this line, there could be a number of things that I want about the line. For example, I might want to extend the line. So I go back to this select tool here and I click on the line. And when I do so, I have a number of options on the right here. But the first part is that I can shorten or expand the line or extend the line like this. The other thing I can do is to actually move the line about the other end. So I can move another end and so on. And this is important because sometimes you've just placed the line not exactly in the right place and you just want to move it a little. And you'll see when we draw diagrams how this is important. Now, once I have the line and I've selected like this, I can make it a little bit thicker. I can even make it bold. So this also matters because maybe in your diagram you want to emphasize a certain line by by changing the weight of the line. So I'm just going to go back to the normal line. And then you can have the line style. This is solid. I can have it dashed, which sometimes helps a lot in diagrams. Or I can have it dotted like this. So this is also quite helpful. And maybe I have a line and I want to show arrows and I can only show arrow on one side. So you can see there's only one arrow at the start of the line, or I want to show it at the end of the, let's just go back, end only, and or I want to show it on both ends. So you can see now it is on both ends. And this is quite useful because in some cases, I mean, many times when I was using some of the other platforms, I'd have to draw this by hand to try to create an arrow, and sometimes it's a bit clumsy. And then, of course, if I want to show the style, let me just remove the arrows because that's not where we are right now. So there's going to be no arrows. And then I can create marks. For example, I can say create a single mark like this. This we use a lot when we want to show line equality. I can have 2 marks or I can have 3 marks. Of course, if you want 4 marks, I guess you'll have to add that one. I've gone up to 3 marks to just show that these lines are equal. You can imagine when you work with things like parallelograms and diagonals there where you have to show which part is equal to which part. So this becomes quite useful. And of course, we want to show if the lines are parallel. So if I go here, I can show parallel marks. I can have just a single one or a double one or a triple one. So these uh, sort of tools are very useful because I can now easily draw a line and create all these things that I think are useful when we are creating diagrams.